Hello, Eagles fans. Welcome back to Philly Eagles Therapy. I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
And Dad, the good news is probably going to be our most watched episode of the podcast this season. People always like to watch us after Eagles losses and embarrassing losses and things like that. So,
That's
hey,
right.
good news for us there. Probably going to get a good amount of viewership on this one.
That's right.
Um, but brutal night, Dad. Really brutal loss there.
Terrible, terrible. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Eagles lose 24-21 in Dallas, wearing the Kelly Greens. Had a 21-point lead and just collapsed and blew it away.
yeah. I did read something that said, I believe after we were up 21-0, we ran the ball 6 times after that.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just can't
So
run the ball. It's incredible.
no.
And God, I mean, there's just so much to touch on, but I know we don't really want to talk too much because we just don't even want to think about this. But
Yeah.
just have to get into it, I guess. I mean, God, it's funny. Before the game, I'm texting you, I'm texting JJ, I'm texting people. I had no confidence. I was just like, man, I think we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
And not like, oh, season's over, we're not good enough. No, you just
No.
sometimes you just lose games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you
I'm just like,
do.
oh yeah, but I'm just like, yeah, I just think we're gonna lose. I just don't think it's, they're coming off their best game. We're coming off some tough ones. Da 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 da. It just
Yeah.
sometimes it's just how it happens. Um, but once you're up 21-0, I was still calling you. It's funny how Eagles fans are. And anybody that tells you the Eagles fans, they were confident, they thought they were going to win. They don't know a real Eagles fan because
I agree.
we were up 21-0 and I was still sitting there going, I don't know. This
Yeah.
was still a lot to go,
Yeah.
like
The defense did what they had to do. The offense got the ball so many times and just three and out. It was really disgusting. And of course the penalties didn't help, but my Lord, it was awful. I was watching it
yeah,
with my brother and my sister and my
yeah.
daughter, and
Well,
it's just terrible.
the hardest thing is it's not even penalties
And my
that you go,
son-in-law, sorry, my son-in-law too.
it's not even penalties that you would say like, oh, like the ref, horrible call. No, it was
No,
just
yeah,
holding. That's a holding.
yeah,
Oh, face to hands to the face. That's a hands to the face. Oh, pass
yeah,
interference, stuff like
yeah.
that. There was
Well, yeah,
no like egregious, oh,
yeah,
they robbed us. Like nothing
yeah.
like that. It was just,
No,
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 we got penalized. That's a
yeah.
penalty. you
No,
know?
and it's funny because Jake had said my son-in-law said a few times, we got away with the penalty, got the interception in the end zone. You could see him surely pulling the shirt. It's like I said, well, that's what
100,
happens. Well, then we had a few penalties on us that we kind of went, well, what was the penalty? But it doesn't matter. That's not part of the when you're third, second and two, you got to get the first down. So,
yeah.
but
So yeah, let's just talk about that. The game, we'll go just not really drive by drive, but we start the game with three drives for touchdowns. Three touchdown drives, like we said, we go 21-0. And then after that, I'll just give you the drive chart.
oh,
Punt, end of
punt,
half,
punt, punt, punt.
punt, missed field goal, fumble. And then it doesn't have in here that we also fumbled the punt and then
Right.
punt.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was just another one of those games, not even a tale of two halves. It was a tale of the first quarter and the
Yeah.
next three quarters. And
Yeah.
I talked about it all week with my friend Tevin at work, who's unfortunately a Cowboys fan I have to see
Yep.
tomorrow.
Well,
And he
yeah.
asked me about, so why are people doing this? Why do people think this? Why is AJ upset? And I told him all about how, well, we just have this ability to have a great half, whether it's the first or the second half, and then
Yeah.
after that just be absolutely terrible, or before that be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
There's a complete inability and ineptitude to play a full game by this offense.
Yeah. It's incredible, really. I mean, you look at it, you're like, okay, and you just keep forcing the ball in the middle on first down and run the ball into the middle, and you can see there's 10 guys standing there. Just no, there are a few good plays that got called because of penalties, and guys are moving, guys can't get off the field. It was just you could just see it happening. You just see the collapse. And yeah, it was fun to watch Jerry when he was down 21-0. But I'm like you. It's for me, it's never over. And for a team like Dallas on the road, it's not over until we're up by 30 points. And
Yeah,
it wasn't. And everyone was celebrating. And I kept pulling them back in, like, hey, we got to relax. You got to. Then, of course, right before the half, we got the ball and we do nothing
yeah,
with it. And that should have
yeah,
been the end of the half, 21-0. Should have been the end of the half. You give them seven, you give a little life. There's a team that's down on their luck. We couldn't get the Dak, but we made him not look so good there for a while. And then you just let a player quarter go. And it's funny. Everyone's been saying it. You can't keep winning like this, and we didn't. So I mean, what do we
yeah.
do from here? Well, we know what we got to do from here. We got to win Friday. We got to win the week after that. So, But yeah, this was disappointing because the Cowboys, they're playing Thursday. They're going to beat the Chiefs. They're probably going to lose. They're probably not going to go anywhere. But they took away that sweep of the season that we really wanted.
Yeah, I know that's the biggest deal about it.
Yeah,
And I mean,
definitely.
I told you going to the season. Of course, the whole talk about everything was people thinking that we could repeat and stuff. And you and me were very, it's so
Yeah,
hard to repeat. I know the Chiefs just did it, but it
yeah,
just doesn't happen all the time.
no,
So it was hard for me to look into a repeat. I was really just looking at just get rid of the whole division talk and the whole 25 years. No one's won the division. 20 years. No one's won the division. I
right.
was tired of that, and I wanted us to win the division. And now,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still thinking we're going to win the division, but
yeah,
I mean, Dallas has a tie, and they're going to be 5-1 in the division,
right,
and it's like we're going to the best we can be is 4-2. So
right,
if you come near each other in the same record, they're going to have the division. They're going to have the division record over
right,
us. So it's not out of the realm of possibility they win the division. I mean,
right.
it's that's really frustrating.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, especially when you're up 21-0 on the road and you look unstoppable. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, it's not even the three and outs, Baz. It's you got to get a drive. You just got to get two first downs, and you couldn't even get a play.
yeah.
And
Well,
every time we had a play, it got Kane called back.
they scored 24 points, and you think about if you hold this offense to 24 points, you like those chances of winning that game because this is one of the best offenses in the league.
It is.
And if you score one more touchdown, that's 28, and you win 28-24.
Yeah,
Like worst
right.
case scenario. So
Yeah,
it's just the complete shutdown and ineptitude of the offense after something happens.
right.
It just I don't know how to
Well,
describe it. It doesn't
what it's
seem comparable. It doesn't seem like you can
yeah,
compare it to anything that's
yeah.
ever happened.
The thing is, it's adjustments. It's making the adjustments when you have to make the adjustments. And you get a second and two, and then you get a 5-yard penalty or a 10-yard holding call
Yeah.
after a 15-yard play. And and we did have a few spurts there, but third and two at the 37 with a minute and
Please
a
hold
half
on.
left. Come
Please hold
on.
on. Please
You
hold on.
gotta
That's
sustain drives.
I know. Just
But
hold on to
but
that
you
one for
gotta
a second,
sustain
please.
drives.
Um, when did you think we were going to lose?
I thought we were in it all the way to the end. I really did. I never gave up.
Okay,
I thought they had a chance, and especially after the fourth and two, and we stopped them at the goal line. Like that was ridiculous to me.
that was incredible.
They
Yeah,
should have kicked the field goal there. To me, that didn't make any sense, and we still had a shot. I mean, it
yeah,
was unbelievable.
yeah. I thought obviously aside from before the game, I thought we were going to lose, and then you're up 21-0. Once it hit 21-14, I would say the moment Zach Bond dropped
Oh,
the interception, it was right in his hands because the next play was a 50-yarder to CD
yeah,
and the pass
yeah,
interference.
right,
And the
right,
moment he dropped that, I was pretty certain we were going to lose. Like I was just
yeah, right,
the momentum has completely gone, and there's
yeah,
no getting it back.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
that's
again,
something that this offense does. Sorry, go ahead.
they go in a hole, like you said, and at one point you're like, just get a first down, guys, just move the ball. But that ending where they just did what they did was just pathetic.
Yeah.
I can't believe they threw the ball. I just can't. I can't believe it.
So thoughts on this, Dad? Kevin Patullo. Let's just state that. I mean, obviously,
It's
this
yeah.
the loss probably falls as far as blame. Probably falls heaviest on him. Maybe Nick Sirianni with some of the penalties and everything, because
I
that's
think
kind of
so.
on
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
But to me, I know it's hard to blame Patullo for a lot of the penalties because, like, he's not the player. He's not out there.
Right,
Some of those
right,
plays were good, and they got the Devontae Smith pass to down to the 12-yard line gets called back for a
right,
hands to the face. That's not Patullo's
right,
fault. He called the
right,
right
right.
play. But it just I don't. I'm just going forward. I just don't know how you can walk into another game with this guy as your offensive coordinator. I
I
mean,
agree.
or
I
at least
agree.
as your play caller. It just feels it's a it's a just it's a disservice to the fans, to the team, and to the players more than anything.
Yeah, I agree with the players, and that's why I think there's a lot of that division, that unhappiness, because they're looking at this going, "What are we doing out here? I mean, what we can't even string together." You watch other teams and you go, "Oh yeah, you ran it over there. Now you threw it over here. Now you pitched it over." Like we had some of that going on when they gave the handoff to Devontae Smith. Great play. Like, oh, they're not even ready for that. He almost took it in. I mean, that was
Yeah,
beautiful the way they were moving it side to side and back and forth. And then all of a sudden, you run it in the gut. You try to throw a pass. It's just there's no creativity. There's no, I don't know. Again, there's no aggressiveness. There's no, last minute we got to go. And I'm talking in the second quarter. You got to sustain drives, and it's just terrible. Terrible play calling is bad. I think somebody's lost the offensive line because they don't know the count. They don't know what they're doing. It's just so bad. And the worst thing was at one point they were letting them play. There was some holding on both sides, letting it go, letting them play the game, and then kind of referees kind of turned around there towards the second half, and they started calling everything, and you're like, oh, come on, we thought we were playing a game like this, and now you're calling everything. It just kind of disrupted, I think, everyone, even the viewer, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, this offensive line's been really bad. I will say I thought this was the worst game Saquon's played as an Eagle.
Yeah,
Obviously, clearly the fumble was one. There was one where he caught the pass in the flats, and
I
he
know.
did the weirdest, dumbest spin move I've ever
Spun,
seen.
yeah,
He spun the wrong way.
yeah.
He's
Just
like, you
get three
span.
yards.
He span
Yeah,
toward. He spun towards the out of bounds,
yeah,
and then he
yeah,
stayed in bounds. And
yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah.
And
Well,
then
there was another
second.
part, another good play where he ran across, and then you're like, oh, he's going to get 15 yards, and he slipped, and you're like, "Ah,
Yeah, that
how
was
does
the
this
second.
happen?
That was second last play of the offensive game.
Huge,
I mean, that was
huge
huge.
play.
They made it the 3rd and 2, which I want to hold on to the 3rd and 2
I
just
know, it's
give me
hard,
some
but
time. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I wanted to also talk about the punt return, the fumble.
like,
First of all, let me mention. Sorry, I should say first the only good of the game. Let's give the good. Well,
right,
aside from the scoring in the first quarter,
right.
Braden Mann's a great punter.
Oh my God, yeah.
Average 50. Yeah, average 50 per punt. Had a long of 58, three inside the 20. He was really
Yeah,
great, really
two
great. I think.
inside the 10, one inside the
Yeah,
5. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
there's nothing you could say about him. And I kept saying during the game, don't kick it in the middle of the field, kick it, find a side so we can keep Turpin over there. It didn't
yeah.
matter. He put it where he put it, and he couldn't return him, which was really unbelievable. Some of the things
Yeah.
that he did with the
Best
ball.
best part of the game was him as the punter. I mean, he was fantastic. So
Yeah, he was
the punt
fantastic.
returning though, so very clear. Xavier Gibson not going to be on the team probably for the next few days. I would say.
Yeah, I
This isn't
agree.
the first time he's done something this stupid. Now he has only fumbled. That's his only fumble, but he did have some stupid a couple of weeks ago where he was recover or catching it at the 2 or the
Yeah,
5,
right.
and he catches it at the 1 or the 2, whatever, and then he's running around like a madman and fumbles.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to say if it goes in the 20 in the end zone we win. Like, no, I'm not going to
right.
go out and say that, but it's just
No.
benign stupidity.
Well,
I don't even know if
I
it
don't
affected
understand.
the game that much, but it was just so
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, it didn't because they didn't score from the on
Yeah,
that drive, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I can't believe they went for it and didn't get it on the 2.
yeah,
I just couldn't believe that. But again, it's a testament to the defense, but I just don't understand what you got to know the situation. If you're up 21 and you're catching it to 2, okay, or you're down 21, okay. But when you're in a game like that, then every
tie game.
yard meant something, and you
Yeah,
catch it at the 3 yard, well, take it at the 20, man. And there was a few times we were going after the punter. I'm like, just set up the return or kicking it from the
no,
5. I don't know who the special team. I was giving him praises last week for the last 2 games that the special teams were great. Coverage was great, but you don't catch the ball at the 3 when you're tie game in their house
yeah,
and couldn't move the ball at all. I mean, this made no sense.
yeah.
They should have
Agreed.
won the game on that point, and that just shows you how poor that other team on the other side of the field was. They're not
Yeah.
that good, and of course, we play
No,
down to the
and
competition and lose a game.
I mean, yeah, I'll say there might be, we said this might be our most viewed episode because there might be some Cowboys fans jump in, which
Yeah,
we appreciate.
yeah,
We like the smack talk; it's a lot of fun.
sure, bring it
But
on, bring it on.
in my belief, and people can disagree, they will. This is the third game in a row where I don't think the other team's defense really played that well. I think it was just our offense completely just going zero mode. I don't
Well,
even pumpkin
I
mode.
I will disagree with you there. The defensive
Okay,
lines on the last 3 teams we played were good and stopped the run. Of course, we're not opening the
yeah,
holes
that's
like we
fair.
should.
But
I
the
mean,
problem
especially
is
today, but
the
their
problem that
passing defense.
why I have to disagree with you there is that you would say, oh, the defensive lines have stopped the run. Well, we haven't been able to run all season, so
Sure,
that's
sure.
not really an impressive thing. like,
Right,
but I just feel like this is the third game in a row now that it's like in this three game stretch where we've gone 2-1, thankfully.
right, right. Yes.
It just feels like I never was sitting there going, man, that defense is killing us. No, every time it's just been, we just can't get out of our own way.
We
And you
kill
saw today with
ourselves.
the
Yes.
penalties, but also
Yes.
with the play calling, the decision making. Why
Yeah.
are we doing that there? Why are we doing
Yeah.
this then? What is this happening? It constantly feels like that in these last three games. I just feel like we're just killing ourselves. And
And it's
I,
funny. The first game, the Packers game, you and I both said we should go for that fourth down. Today, I don't think we should have kicked a field goal. I think we should have
yeah,
dropped it inside the 10 again. And maybe the defense was opening some plays. We almost had the pick that was right in Vaughn's hands. He couldn't get it. There was a couple fumbles they had. We really couldn't get the Dak, which again confounds me because the defensive line was so well the last few weeks, but they just
yeah.
couldn't get to him today. We had one sack from Dean again. He ran over the running back just like last week against Goff. But you can't continually hang your hat on that. It came back and bit us in the butt.
Well, the Cowboys' offensive line is way better than I expected it to be this year.
It
That's
is. They have
fair.
a rookie out there that's
I'll
playing well. Yeah.
completely give them that. That's completely give them the
Yeah.
respect there. That's for sure. Um,
Yes.
yeah, no, I agree. We couldn't get the pressure. It's weird because the defense, I don't really know how to talk about them because I didn't think they played that bad. They held them to, what was their first three drives? It was the turnover on downs. Then they had a three and out. Then they fumbled, and that's how we scored our first three touchdowns. Then they had an
Right.
interception, which we didn't end up scoring on.
Right.
And then that's when the game flipped.
Yep.
We punt, they get a touchdown, end of half, punt, punt, punt,
Yep.
punt, missed field, punt, punt, all that sort of stuff. I thought the
Yep.
defense played actually not that bad. It's hard to
Yep.
talk about it because they ended up giving it 24 points, but
Yeah.
this was the number one of the best offenses in the league.
Yep.
I mean, giving up 24 points in the way that they played, we should have won by at least four, is what I'll say.
And again, when you don't have the offense sustaining drives and kind of killing a little bit of clock, that's when
Yeah.
you start seeing players drop and get injured. And that's what we had today. We had Blankenship get kneed in the back by one of our own players. He went out because the hamstring was hurting, so he sat. That's the kind of thing that happens. Just kind
Oro
of when it
Jomo. Yeah.
flips, it flips, and that's how it works. I mean,
Yeah.
Quinion went out. Sorry, Quinn and
Adoree
Williams went
Jackson.
out when he got hit in his
Yeah.
side.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he was back in, but here's an opportunity to run the ball at least. And it just there's I don't know. It's just hard to watch. It's hard to watch this offense. All these weapons, and it just becomes a joke. Goddard was untouched for the first half of the game, and they finally threw it to him, and then of course it comes back on a penalty. But these guys got to be better. They just have to be better. And I know Cam played the whole game. So it wasn't like you had a different center out there. Pryor comes in for one play, gets a penalty, and you're like, that was
Yeah.
a big play. A 15. We
Yeah, man.
didn't have many big plays down there.
I just don't know if you I don't know what to do about Cam. Sorry, I don't know how deep we want to go into this. I don't know what to do about Cam. He is not playing well. And I don't know if it's because of the injury that's been just kind of
Yeah,
struggling with. Same with Landon. They have not been
yeah.
playing. It's funny. People have been bashing, Tyler Steen in the media.
He's been
He's
great.
kind of been the most consistent offensive lineman this season. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, aside from Lane, who got hurt, but
yeah,
Mailata hasn't been very good. Landon
right,
Dickerson has been injured in and out. Cam has been injured. Steen's the only guy who's I haven't really heard his name that much. Like
right,
it's like
right.
he's playing pretty okay. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't ever feel like he costs us a big thing or has a huge penalty or has a big this. Like I don't. It's just funny how that feels like it completely changed. But
And the other thing about it, the offensive line pass blocking, there was times Jalen had 8 seconds again to get rid of the ball.
we
Nobody's
held on to him.
open, or you're just afraid to throw it. If it means you got to throw a freaking interception, throw a freaking interception, all right? But force a ball and try and get somebody in the middle. It just there's so many times you're like, there's got to be somebody to throw it to. Now he did throw one away when he was getting sacked on one play, which was great, and he almost completed it to Devontae on the sidelines. But to me, there's just so many plays that there's got to be somebody open, and if they're not, then it's play design. But it was just, man, that second half was so brutal to watch, and you could
Yeah.
see it coming. You could just see it coming.
Oh yeah. Of course.
We had a little bit of life on that one drive, and then Barkley fumbles it on maybe a bad play. I don't know, not a good run design play or whatever. But I do
Yeah.
think, and I know you mentioned this as well. Maybe we need to see a little more Tank out there, man, because every time
That was
he's a
yeah.
4 yard guy, he gets 4 yards.
That was my next thing I was going to mention. Saquon,
Yeah,
10 for 22. Tank Bigsby only one carry for 8 yards. Now, obviously, on the season, Tank's stats are insane compared to what they probably would be. But right now, he's averaging 9.1 yards per carry. Obviously, if you gave him 20 carries. He wouldn't. I don't expect he would do that. But I am
Right.
looking at the point now where, I mean, until Saquon gets it figured out, I think you got to play Tank more. I mean,
I said it last
it's looking,
podcast.
it
10
looks different
carries.
when he's out there. It looks different. Like
It
why?
does.
Why is that? Is it because
Oh,
Saquon's a little
well,
bit gassed? Is it because he's not seeing the holes like Tank is? I don't know, but
yeah,
you have to give Tank more carries. I know he's not going to
yeah,
always average 9 yards a carry, but right
yeah.
now you got to do something with him. You got to
Well,
use him more.
that's what Aunt Margie said at one point. She's like, Tank just looks like he has more of a burst right now. Well, let's use that. I know he was in there for 2 or 3 plays, but the one carry he had, he got 8 yards. And if that means you got to go back and forth, and also I think when he's out there, they don't know what we're doing. Is he
Yeah,
just a decoy? Because when it's first down and 10 and Barkley's there and he's going to run it up the gut. I mean, I know
yeah,
you could stay with the run. I don't know what the numbers finished with today, but it just seemed
pretty
like
bad.
every first down and 10 carries were a 1 or 2 yard gain, and it was just bad.
Yeah, really brutal.
It,
Yeah, then
yeah,
let's talk about the last play that you were kind of mentioning that I kind of
yeah,
shut you down
terrible.
on earlier. So,
Right on. It's
um,
okay.
so Saquon has the run where he slips and falls, and then they call pass play. 3rd and 2, Jalen Hurts drops back, and I know I've said a lot of things about Jalen, and people have been mad at me, people have agreed with me, all this sort of stuff, but I just you can't take a sack there. Like you
Right.
just if
Yeah.
you and it's funny because Jalen doesn't take that many sacks. Like he's not
Right.
a. It's not like he gets sacks, so many times this year. What's he at? 28 sacks, including
Right.
today. So
Yeah.
that's a lot. But
Yeah.
he's not always like a high sack guy. But it just seems like he takes sacks at the worst moments in
Uh,
football games.
yeah. Yeah.
Like this is the only time you can't take a sack, and he'll do it. And it's
Right.
just
Yeah.
confusing. And that moment, you can't take a sack. It's 3rd and 2. Like
Right.
we got you. You can get a yard, and then we could do a tush push. You could try. I don't care.
I
Like
agree.
something. And he takes a freaking sack, and
Yeah.
it, I don't understand. I just don't understand that at all.
So like
I
when you
mean,
said
number
when
one,
did
the
I
play call was terrible. I get it, but it
yeah,
just I
but
can't believe he took a sack
it's
there.
3rd and 2. When you get 3rd and 2 play, it's drop back 1 or 2 steps and throw. You only need 2 yards. But I just can't believe they ran it. I mean, they
Yeah,
passed it on that down. You like you say, you either get 2 yards, you either get a yard and you can push it, but we needed to keep the ball there, and I knew we needed to keep the ball there, and you knew we needed to keep the ball there. And we're at
yeah,
the 40-yard line. You only have to get 30 more yards at that and a little bit
well,
of a couple pass plays. That's all you need. I mean,
yeah,
but just to throw it on that down, it wasn't fooling anyone. And they're coming at you. I mean, it looked like he could almost have stepped in and kind of taken off up the middle there, but maybe we don't want to run him
yeah.
anymore. I don't know why, because
I don't
it
know.
seems to have been working lately, but I just everything they do is wrong. It just seems like everything they do is wrong.
Yeah.
Except in the first quarter when they feed it to AJ 17 times,
You
you
know what?
know?
Can I say that real quick? Um, I don't know how do I say this? We don't like to cuss on this podcast. It's a very family friendly podcast.
Thank you.
If you got any kids in the room, you watch with any kids, you listen with any kids, earmuffs, leave the room, something like that. I gotta say this. I just have to, Dad. I apologize. Um, Someone needs to go up to AJ Brown. I don't someone in the leadership circle or something, I don't know, in the building, needs to go up to him and say, hey dude, you got to shut the fuck up. Like you have to
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
have to. And I know that they
Right.
had to talk with Jeffrey Louis and everything, but after this game, 8 catches, 110 yards, 10 targets, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now we're losing. Now we
Right.
lost.
So
And I just
do we want to win and stay in and lead the NFC conference and have a couple home playoff games and win maybe and continue to go? Or do you want to just get your stats and good for you? Because Barkley doesn't seem to be crying and he's not getting more than 50, 60 yards rushing a game and he's getting it
no,
20 times. So yeah,
yeah.
I agree with you on that. It's as unfamily friendly as that comment is. I mean, it's just the truth. It
You
really
bring the
is. I
kids.
mean,
You can bring the kids back in. Everything's fine
yeah.
now.
But yeah,
No,
I
it's
mean,
just frustrating. And I get it. You have to give him the ball because he is a great player. I'm
yeah,
not going to say. I'm not saying he's even wrong about the things he was
right.
saying. I agree with him. I was on his side. He's not getting the ball enough. But now after this happened, all right, you're done. You got to shut up.
Yeah,
We
I
got to we
agree.
got to get this going. We got to
I
go.
agree. I mean, because the season's not lost, it's not over. We still have a great
Yeah,
opportunity here. but to piss away a good 21-0 lead on the game of the week, and hopefully somebody was embarrassed out there because I certainly was, and I don't even have any Cowboy friends. I don't see anybody. Okay, but I mean, I went out to eat afterwards, and I'm like, I was wearing my shirt over here because it's kind of cool, and I was watching the Rams Tampa Bay game, and they were getting waxed, and the guy was sitting there with his Tampa Bay hat, thing, gloves, everything. I walked up to him and I said, "Dude, don't feel so bad. They were getting waxed." And he
Yeah.
started laughing. "Hey man, happy Thanksgiving," And I said, "Okay, well, I hope it is because there's a few games on Thanksgiving that I'd like to see a couple of those teams that won today lose, and it would
Yeah.
make
No,
my
I
day."
agree. It's just I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about this
Yeah,
offense. It's
it was rough.
so
Well,
bad.
it's been coming. I mean, the
Yeah.
Detroit game was great. I mean, they put up some points, but today to do what they did and then just I don't under how do you just go from one end to the other? And this is the defense. Dallas has the worst defensive backs in the league, and you
Yeah.
can't get open. I mean, we got teams like the Cardinals putting up 50 points on them. Just terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
it was a fun game, wasn't it? It was a
I
fun
love it.
game.
I love when they do that stuff. When they
I
say
don't
all
have
that
any
sort of stuff.
fun. It's not fun. There's no
It's never
fun.
fun. I hate
Football's
football.
life. It's not fun.
Yep, that's right. You got anything else to say, Dad? Any horrors? Anything else?
Yeah, I do. I came up with a little ending to the podcasts. A couple times a week ago, I said I like football. Today, I'm going to say I like turkey. How's that?
I don't like turkey. I'm not a big. I just don't like
I like
turkey.
turkey.
I wanted to do a. I was trying to push a spaghetti, or not a spaghetti, but a pasta Thanksgiving this year. I was gonna make. I was gonna make spaghetti, fettuccine, carbonara, all that sort of stuff. I wanted to do all
Right.
that, but I got shut down because everyone else was like, "Well, we like the turkey and we like the
Yeah.
regular Thanksgiving food." And I'm like, "Man,
But I'll
can't
tell you
stand it."
what, my turkey's going to taste a lot better when the Chiefs whack the Cowboys on Thursday because
Maybe nice.
that is all I've got because I can't watch football for the rest of the week. Just like you said,
Yeah,
the Monday night game,
football's.
I don't even know if there's a game. I can't watch football till
You see,
after the Thursday games are over and Detroit loses when they should have lost to the Giants.
and
You know,
yeah, Monday's not even gonna be good. It's the Panthers and the Niners. It's a bummer.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Thanksgiving, Packers, Lions, that'll be fun. Chiefs, Cowboys, and then Bengals, Ravens, and Bengals might have Joe Burrow back, so that would
Oh,
be kind of fun if he was
yeah.
back.
Well, the Ravens got what, 5 straight wins. They were 1-5. Now they're 6-5. Yeah. So we wanted today. And today I was out of town, so I really didn't get the and
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah, I
probably
know.
why we lost because I'm out of my realm. I'm not in my
I do
room,
blame you. I do
and
blame
I
you.
feel very I'm very superstitious as most Eagles fans are, and being out
Yeah,
of my chair just made a big difference because I
yeah,
think we could have gone up 35-0. So
yeah. The blame goes. It's you. It's your fault first.
yeah.
Then it's Patullo. Then it's Sirianni. Then it's probably Jalen Hurts.
And my
I don't
my
know. I
sister,
guess I wouldn't blame Jalen as much as I'd blame the O line,
yeah.
Saquon, that
Well,
stupid punt returner.
and the
Fangio,
penalties, just penalties were
yeah,
just
it's really just the players as
ridiculous.
a whole. It's just the
Yeah,
players. Like there's no really one player to blame because no
yeah,
one in particular played bad. No one
yeah,
played, exceptional, but it
yeah.
just was like the penalties and then the, late game just giving up on things. It's just funny. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
you just can't take 2 steps forward and one
the
step
coach.
back
It's really
every
the
time.
coaching. Yeah,
I
it's really the
I
coaching.
agree.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So the season's not over, Dad. You don't think so?
No, no, not at all. But I mean, we still got how many games left now? 8-3. We got 6 more games left, right?
Okay.
8-3.
Yeah.
We've got the Bears on Friday. Now, of course, that's a game we have to win. And we're going to see what happens with the rest of the teams. But yeah,
It just
it's
it just sucks because I before the season, for those watching now, I in my season predictions I predicted we'd lose this game. It just was.
right.
I wrote, I had that as my loss. I said the Rams, the Lions, the Cowboys, and then I picked the Bills, which that's looking a little bit different now as well. But
Agreed.
so I was looking forward, but it's just funny how everything changes when you go up 21-0. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
know, I know.
so I don't know.
And
It's
they
funny,
and they
but
looked terrible. They had their heads hung, the owners being shown in the box, and we're booing them. I mean, and then to let them come back in a game like this is just it's
yeah.
just it's unexcusable. And again,
Mhm.
there's no precedent like in any other city like Philly. They are going to just crucify these
Oh
guys.
yeah,
So they know
yeah,
they got to come back stronger than ever. But man, you can't
yeah,
run the
and
ball,
and
you can't throw the ball, you take sacks when you can't take a sack. third
You
and
know,
two.
and
Third and two.
I was listening to another YouTuber, Eagles YouTube guy afterwards, like instant reactions, and they stated like, hey, hopefully this, lights the fire because, the last few weeks the offense has been bad and the defense kind of got them through it and everything. And today, that's the
Yeah.
title of the episode is going to be offense stalls and the defense can't bail them out. And you
Yep.
think like, I why does there have to be a fire lit? Why can't they just be good?
Right.
Like
Right.
it feels
Yeah.
like all the last few years has always been, well, hopefully this lights a fire. Why do I have to wait for a fire?
Right.
Like,
I
why can't they just be really good because
yeah.
they're really good and they have a
Yeah.
lot of really good players? I just
Yeah.
hate that I have to hear that light a fire thing. Oh, this will make them go. Well, why can't they just come to work like that?
Yeah. I no, I agree. I mean, and I know some of it is on the offensive line and all that stuff, but you got to get over that. These guys are professionals
Yeah,
just like everybody else. And the fact that we
100%.
can't open a hole and have a running back get 6 yards on the carry is just awful, unexcusable.
Yeah,
And it was a bummer because the defensive ends did not show up much today. N'Kobe Dean is still the MVP of the defense. He runs
very
right
good.
over a running back, right into the quarterback, gets a
Great.
sack.
Had a
Unbelievable.
had a pick,
Maybe we need three more
unfortunately.
of those.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the pick had to be waived off because of the penalties and everything
Yeah,
like that. It was a bummer, but that would have been a really good. That would have been a big moment in the game. But
it would have. But who knows? Could we have moved the ball at that point? Wasn't the
right,
first quarter anymore.
well,
So
I mean, it all worked out anyways because they missed a field goal and we got the ball back, and you didn't do anything
yes,
with it. So
which and he never misses field goals. I mean, I
yeah,
was saying it. Hey
which
guys,
sucks.
he never misses field goal, and he missed it. And I went,
Yeah.
now we're at the
Uh-huh.
50. We were right, and then I think we got rid of the ball at the 40 where we were. We didn't even go forward at all. Like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know, Baz. It was a
Yeah.
rough day.
Well, overall bad day of football. We'll mention that. Packers beat the Vikings. Rams just beat the Buccaneers 34-7. I didn't even watch that game, and it wouldn't have been
Yeah,
fun to because it's just boring. Chiefs Colts was okay, but the Chiefs won, which is a bummer. Um, Bears Steelers, the Bears won 31. They put up 31 points, so that was good for them,
yeah.
which is a bummer because you're playing them next.
We
And
were
then
playing a
the
backup quarterback too. Rodgers wasn't in there, so
true,
I didn't see the highlights. But how did they get 28 points with the backup
yeah,
guy against the
uh,
Bears defense? So I don't know.
Lions hold off the Giants, which was a bummer. Seahawks beat the Titans, which wasn't really even going to be, but it was closer than I expected, 30-40, 30-24. I'm
Right.
surprised by that. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, I have him in my fantasy. He surpassed DK Metcalf at the most receiving yards in a single season by a Seahawk already.
Wow.
Yeah, I know
Man, he's
already.
killing it. Yeah, he's killing it.
Jaguars beat the Cardinals. Good for him. Browns
OT.
beat the Browns beat the Raiders. Couldn't watch that one. That was Shadur's first start, but they got the win. So Shadur got
Yeah.
a start, got a win as his first start. And then the
Right.
Falcons beat the Saints. I didn't even know that game was on.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny how that works. I
Yeah.
didn't know what
Yeah.
I didn't even know that the Falcons and Saints were playing today.
Yeah. It's
Miles Garrett, Miles Garrett breaks his own Brown single season rush sack record.
how many get 25?
He's at 17 right now.
And it's the halfway point. He's going
Right.
to finish with
Seven.
27 or so.
I think he might break the record
Yeah.
this
Oh
year.
yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
had three. He had three today. I know. That's
Unbelievable.
that's incredible. Yeah. Dad, anything else to say?
Yeah, I like
Bad day.
pizza.
Nice. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, let's say our goodbyes there. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you like Philly Eagles Therapy, do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on the game, the pain you're feeling. This is why we have therapy. We're all in this here together.
That's right.
Other than that, you can email us at PhillyEaglesTherapy@gmail.com. But other than that, from all of us here at Philly Eagles Therapy, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.